And a very, very good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being with me tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Welcome to the REDZ Table, hosted by David DTV. And we have a lot on the table or on our plate tonight, so let's get started. Let's bring some home guests. We're going to start off with Lutando. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Well, yourself.
Good, good. Did you have a good day, my man?
Always, sir. Always.
Nice, nice. You sound fresh. You sound very fresh to be here.
Always. I'm always excited for what's soccer.
Good, good. Fabian, my man, what's happening?
How's it? How's it, Mr. Williams? Luthi, how's it?
Good yourself, Fabian.
Lekker, man. I see Dale said him the name right this evening.
Yes, I'm proud of him. He's great up.
There. Mr. Williams.
You know, when you review, when you go back to your previous podcast and you look at certain things, you have to improve. So thank you very much, Lutando Nyateli, for cautioning me on that. I thought tonight I'm going to bring in someone from the blue side. Warren, how you doing, brother? Let us just unmute you there. Are you doing good, my man?
Good. Having me. Good to be here.
Nice, nice. Thank you for being here, my man. And last but not least, the famous guy all the way from Matroosfontein. Everybody knows him. Craig, welcome, my man.
Yo, from Matroosfontein. That sounds very far, my man.
Now, everybody knows where Matroosfontein is from.
Yo, I don't think anyone knows where Matroosfontein is.
Huh? Well, everybody in the spot knows.
How's it, guys?
I didn't say what's it called? The dope, no?
The dope? Oh, it's really dope.
What do they call it?
If the girls normally ask, I say mattress fountain.
Operator. All right, guys. So as I said, we have quite a few topics on our plate tonight, and we're gonna get into it immediately. One thing that has been booming, probably died down yesterday, but for the past 48 hours, we're gonna get straight into it, and that is the European Super League. I don't know what happened over there, but Craig, talk to me, my man.
Look,
what is your views on the Super League?
Look, I don't think we should be that surprised about the whole thing. If you think about it, it was always going to happen eventually. I think it was obviously planned. It was in the pipeline. It sounds exciting, you know. Obviously, when you found out the first time on Monday, I felt the way Rio Ferdinand felt in his video. I don't know if you saw it. But I was devastated, you know. I was like, how can they just do this? You know, how can they just decide? We know that the game has been taken over by money. We know that. But the timing of it, that's one of the main questions. I mean, the whole timing of it. Why are you fighting to be in the top four? You know, and all of a sudden they might not even need to be in the top four next season. And you know, it's crazy, you know. But look, the minute we decided we're gonna bring in whale bosses and banks and all these things, it was always going to happen. Just the timing of it was surprised, and obviously it collapsed. 2 minutes, I call it early ejaculation. I mean, really, you know, it was horrible. You know, I mean, I think the second day when I found out the structure was going to be a bit better, like they won't be taken out of the domestic leagues, I said, okay, this might sound a bit exciting, you know. And the thing is this: we all know this. UEFA and FIFA has been underpaying clubs for decades, you know, and for someone to give you 400 million just to enter, I mean, it's if you think about the market of players, right? Think about the market of players. You will buy a player for 200 million or 150 million. Obviously, 300 or 400 million for you. It's like you can buy 5 of the best, 6 of the best. Do you understand? So the minute they decided to make players so expensive, You know, this is why club said, look, why not? You know,
Yeah.
I think if players were cheaper, under 100 million, maybe they would have considered not even thinking about it. I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, it's 2 days. It was exciting, and I mean it's all over again. You know, we're back to normal again.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that, man. You're starting over there with some fire. How was this whole Super League supposed to come about? Like, what are the benefits? What are the disadvantage of it? And where was this going to fit into busy schedules of the top six or the 12 clubs who are going to be playing in the Super League?
Look, I mean, everybody is against this whole Super League. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. For me, it's like they're planning to break away, or were they still going to maintain teams in the leagues as well as in the Super League, as well as in the Champions League?
It was going to be a breakaway from the UEFA and FIFA.
Correct.
Yeah. No, for me, I mean, personally, I felt like everybody became too emotional about the whole thing to begin with, because immediately people were saying that, oh, these guys are going to destroy football and they're killing football. But I don't believe that. I don't think that the Super League will necessarily destroy football, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would these people want to destroy the game when they want to make more money off the game? So they are this. I mean, for me, an advantage is that it's very much based on an American model of sports, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
NFL.
it's like very much they want to change it into like a franchise thing, where there's no relegation, and they were going to have cap salaries and all these kind of things. But if you look at the current structure of how the leagues are formed against a Super League, then the biggest disadvantage that they were saying is that it doesn't create a pathway for smaller teams.
Yeah, correct.
But I don't agree with that either. I think as a smaller team, you would rather want to play in the Super League, where you are guaranteed 300 million a year, than where you play in the Premier League or La Liga, where you don't get that much. So personally, I'm against the Super League, because I like the current way of the Premier League and your La Liga and your Champions League. For that reason, I'm against the Super League, because I think the structure is fine as it is. But personally, I don't think the Super League is necessarily a bad idea either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just before we do continue any further, let's just make sure that the TVs in our background and the radios are switched off, because there is a little bit of an echo. Yeah, Fabian, there is an advantage of the Super League, but is that more of towards the clubs that was going to take part in the Super League? Because to my understanding, that yes, it is a breakaway, and I remember me one playing in the Champions League or earning the right to play in the Champions League. You need to work yourself to get there. So now it's almost like, okay, let's take the big hitters, because United's not that big club that they used to be. You know, I mean, United supported, but they're not that big club that they used to be. But for me, it just looks like, okay, let's take the top six there, let's take the top four there, let's take the top three there, and now we put them in this Super League. All the money that we're going to be making remains there. Good point that Craig brought up was that, let me just add Warren back there. Good point that you brought up, Craig made there, is that the fact that it's just going to be them. It's just going to be us in that league. But do you think that it would be fair on other leagues looking into it? Because I've seen posts from Everton, I've seen posts from all the lower or the mid-table teams voicing a disappointment in the clubs that partook. What's your view on Manchester United partaking or being in this pool of teams being in the Super League?
Yeah, so as the guy said, for me it's also so it's mixed emotions, man. I would love one season where I would see the best of the best playing in a league for one and seeing how it ends. Yes, I do agree. Well, I felt as well that it could be. Remember, it could either be a story of the rich stays rich, and the poor must just continue to suffer. That's the lower league clubs. Or it could have possibly been a different scenario, like Warren said. That's why I was also but caught caught between two minds at the same time. In do I go with this because this is a fantasy? This is perfect. Like Craig said, like um, we would all love to see these superstars playing each other, and actually also we'll be able to see are they actually worth it. But what happens to the Leeds United? And I'm glad Leeds United on Monday when they played Liverpool, with the T-shirts that they had, you need to earn to play to play in Europe or UEFA. So for me, this whole thing, besides it just popping up, for me the other thing was weird is, and as I told you guys in the group, UEFA was about to look at a new way of or new format of playing UEFA or the Champions League. And right before they were about to announce or even speak about it, boom, Super League comes up and it just jumps up out of everywhere. So for me, I do feel that it could be a disadvantage to the small teams, but I also feel that if it's constructed properly, it could also be an advantage, because then the Premier League would be an opportunity for other teams to win as well, like your West Hams, your Leicester Cities, those teams that are really good, and it could give them an opportunity, a fairer opportunity to actually win the Champions League and then go play in the Super League with the top, with the cream of the crop, as they say. I do feel that it's for the smaller clubs, it really felt, and we saw it. They came out in the masses. It felt like you're taking bread out of their plate or out of their house, as they say, and not being able to cater for their own anymore. So it's almost like they would get what would look like, or the way it was launched with Perez, it looked like it was just bigger teams. It's a nice of cake, and the smaller teams, you will have to make scraps with the dry bread and see what you can make of it. And that's how it kind of felt, or the way it came out. And for me, it's also, Craig, you mentioned, is it done? So I was thinking, is it really done, or did we sell ourselves to the devil? Is that the question in terms of the United and the Arsenals and the Chelseas sell their soul to the devil? Is that contract binding? Is it, all those things that you read about? Is it done for now only? But it's definitely it's really stirred up. I mean, even females speak about it that don't watch soccer. I'm more proud of Super League.
Yeah, for sure. Lucy, what's your take, my man? Get in here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think the guys hit the nail. How they say, nail on the coffin. You guys have said enough about it, and I totally agree. It has a pros, it has a con. On my side, I think if they didn't make it a close corporation in that sense, where they allowed smaller teams to come into it, then it would have worked perfectly fine. Because what's happening now with Newcastle, for example, they're getting new owners. If that court case goes well for Newcastle, they're going to get new owners. They get bigger investment. We could have the new city in terms of Newcastle. So it is unfair. And to be honest, I think they did it on purpose. On that day, they chose to do it. There's a reason why they did it, guys. Because all of a sudden now UEFA want to give more money to clubs. All of a sudden now they're changing the structure quicker and everything. And also they're shining a light to how UEFA and FIFA want to control everything. If you guys realize that they are shining that light. I don't know if you heard when the billionaire in South Africa became the CAF president, how FIFA actually the president of FIFA came to interfere to stop him not to do it. I don't know if you heard about that news. So it just shows how much power FIFA has in soccer. So it's a good thing. I think they did it on purpose. And yes, we're hearing they're pulling out. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. That league is gonna happen.
Of course.
Look, I can believe that league can happen, but I think also maybe it's maybe just to throw it in there. Listen here, this can take place, and we can actually hold it at ransom to say that, listen, if we don't like what we've seen, we will come again. I think it must maybe. I do understand the idea of it. It can work, but it was just executed poorly. So for us, it made people more afraid, and of course, it shows once again that the fans are very strong. Thank you to everybody in the comments. These are supporters, and in this case, it's fans 1, Super League 0. So I'm happy. I'm very happy that it was removed. I'm happy that the clubs broke away. But with that.
Just a question. Do you really think the clubs pull it? I'm telling you now, bro. That Super League thing.
Look, I took one club. I took the first club, and that's why I have Warren. I have Warren with us. Chelsea was the first club to remove themselves.
Cowards.
Yes.
I don't need the
We
money.
always say,
I don't need the money. That's a fine.
What did you say, Oli?
Chelsea don't need
They
the
call
money.
us-
So break away.
Well, all the clubs that was part of it, that to me, like seems that they needed the money, but them pulling away,
Arsenal.
big ups on them.
Exactly. There's a few clubs there that needed the money. I think the whole the Spanish club, Real Madrid, Barcelona, we all know they need the money. They can't
Yeah.
even afford our English players anymore. So they need the money. So they were all in for it. You understand? They were all in. And the thing is this, man. This is my thing. Like this thing could have happened easily. They could have waited for the league to finish, put a plan in place, and then say, look, guys, by 2023, this is a proposal. You know what I mean? Because it's think about it, like it's super exciting if you think about it. You still stay in your league, you still stay in FA Cup, whatever. This is just a separate entity or whatever. Because look, we know UEFA and FIFA still making money. Like they want to make money alone. That's the thing. Old chaps, they want to make money alone. They don't want to give a different one a chance to you know what I mean, come up with something. So we are all aware that this thing is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You understand? But for me, the timing is just it's weird. You know, I know people hasn't made money because of COVID. We know that. So kind of planning nicely would have been nice because no money made for clubs due to fans not being in the stadium. You know, so it would have been a nice idea. But to just quiet so in while you are fighting to be fought, while you are, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's look at the other part
before
of
we
this.
end this one.
No, we're not going to end
before
it.
we end this one.
Yeah,
Just be honest. Arsenal, why? Liverpool, first season, all of a sudden they get into a Super League. Come on, that's what I want to say. That we didn't deserve.
Look, I'm trying to avoid speaking about Arsenal, and that's why for me it's like, okay, if you want to have a Super League, Arsenal in the Super League, they call it with the Champions League, but in the Super League,
I would rather put Leicester there. We have a bigger challenge with Leicester.
Leicester deserve it, man. There's clubs in there like Leicester and Leeds and West Ham and Newcastle who's got that huge fan base. You know that deserve a chance like this. You know, I mean. Most people maybe even watch a Newcastle versus a Leeds game than to a AC Milan versus a Roma game. You know.
Yeah. Let's thank you very much for the comment there, Ronald. The other fact is also that clubs are in debt, and they this is also maybe one of the biggest things is that let's look at the big clubs. You know, we're all bragging, okay, it's going to be part of the Super League, and let me just say that United played in the Champions League. They were part of the Champions League, Europa League, and Super League this season. No club has ever done that. No club has ever done that. A team breaking records. Yes, man. You know? But yeah, so clubs are in debt. And I think that's maybe also a cover up with the fact that look at United's debt they have. Look at Real Madrid's debt. I mean, they're in the hundreds of billions if I'm not mistaken. So this is the way to clear up that debt sooner than what the money they're getting from the Champions League. And the players that they're also recruiting, and they can't even sell players because, like, I mean, they're not balancing out the paychecks. So good one there, Ronald. That's also a cover up for this whole Super League nonsense. But let me move on from that because I think we spent enough time on this whole situation. At the same time, I think it was 24 hours later, this happened.
Best news ever.
Ed Woodward got the sack. How
No,
are
he
you feeling about that,
he
James?
didn't get the sack. He
This
left.
is my question. You know, did he resign because he was going to get fired?
Well, look at what they said was that the United the pressure, and we're gonna get into that shortly, is that the pressure put on United after us being part of the Super League. We can look at it both ways, but you know, at the end of the day, is that we're gonna be respectful. And I just see it as Ed Woodward got the sack. I don't care if it was a mutual agreement or he resigned, I believe he got the sack.
Honestly, I think Ed Woodward has been running this club on its own. He's been running this club on his
He didn't get a sack.
he is the main instigator in this Super League, I'm telling you.
Yes, he didn't get a sack. Remember one thing, he's been making profit for that, Owen, sir. Why would they sack him?
Exactly. For 16 years. No ways.
Yes,
Spend $1 billion on players.
he's been making profit for them, bro.
No.
He left.
Exactly.
Say again, Lucy?
I'm 100% sure he left out of his own. He was
What did
making
you say
money
about
for those guys. He was making money for United, for the owners. Just look at it. We, as much as we have
That's
this
what
debt.
United based on. Is my point been proven right again? That is just making money for the business. We don't need that at United, my
Yes.
friend. We don't
I know
need
what you're
that. We don't
saying,
want that.
but we got American owners. Those guys are all about money.
But I've so interesting that you guys mentioned. So my thing is this, no? So did he leave on his own, or did he actually get paid a certain amount of money to leave? Is it really him involved in the Super League, or is it maybe the Glazers, and they need a man to put out there and like, okay, take the blame, take the shade away from United. You leaving? Have you thought about that already?
Yeah.
Look, the
Actually,
Look, the
Okay.
thing is, I think that top six, if speaking on correction, the top six is either owned or they have a chairman that's American. And I mean, it's a huge question mark. Huge question mark. You know,
It is.
all those Americans have to come along and decide it. Because I mean, like you said, it's the NFL structure and it's the way they run their basketball. You know, so this thing, Ed Woodward,
Yeah.
he's been all along. He's been
And all
look,
the
the
clubs
thing-
that was basically all the clubs that was part of the club owners are American. So they're all bringing that NFL, NBA structure where they're gonna,
only
bring in
Chelsea,
the fans.
only Chelsea. Chelsea is owned Russian, but chairman is American.
Yeah, for sure. But on the same,
Arsenal's Russian as well.
Look, I
Who?
think if I look back at Ed Woodward's 16
Arsenal.
years career, like for me is this, I would not even have had an issue with him if he just signed the players that we asked for. That's all he had to do is to kind of forgive him. You know, all he had to do. I mean, he spent $1 billion. He spent $1 billion on players in the 16 years he's been there. But I mean, how many of those players were the players the manager actually wanted, or was just for marketing or business? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do now? Are we gonna replace him with another guy from America that's just gonna, what's gonna happen now? You understand? Like we're all in the dark. We hear a lot of that Edwin van der Sar is gonna come in or all those things like that. But like, is he really gonna come in? Is the Glazers gonna make that last call on him actually coming in? Is it gonna affect the club in a good way or bad way? It's a scratch in the head. They're coming. Honestly,
Yeah.
They're gonna be they're coming.
For sure. How do we feel though? So now that he is gone, who will be a suitable replacement though?
Van der Sar.
Van der Sar.
That's
Van
what
der
the
Sar.
papers say.
Yeah, Van der Sar, of
Yeah,
course.
but he's good, bro. I've read up on what he's been doing at Ajax. Is actually
Exactly, yeah, me too.
He's doing well there at Ajax.
Exactly.
When we
For me, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, go Fabs.
Now I'm saying it's going to be interesting because obviously, with Ole also being back, it does also give you that sense of United trying to bring people to the club that will invest emotionally, and not just in terms of a paycheck. That they will have passion behind driving, obviously United or seeing United at the stage where they know they should be challenging at. So it'll be interesting to see. And the thing is, next season in terms of transfer market, it's also going to be interesting to see, was it Ed that was keeping back in terms of giving, in terms of permission or go ahead for certain players, or actually once again, is it bigger than the Ed Woodward level? Is it bigger than him? Is it like the Glazers? That's actually so that's going to be interesting as well for me. So, but in terms of loyalty and passion, obviously I wouldn't say no. I would say yes. If I mean, if they would give him the job, the opportunity, I would say yes.
I don't know what to make of this comment. United must bring Bebe.
Yes, definitely.
No way.
Why when that name is mentioned, it's always the first reaction is a laugh.
But look, at the end of the day, it made us money according to Tandy. When we're looking for a technical director, Van der Sar was also one of the candidates. The reason why we didn't choose him, and that's going as per Manchester United Evening News, is that he's too demanding. He's too demanding. And of course, it's like a business. I believe my club is a business. They're going to choose someone that's going to be going according to what the Glazers expect. You know, the way they can the way they can be controlled. So yes, we're gonna want someone as Edwin van der Sar, but are we really gonna get him though? Who else do we have in line? Because I read this afternoon, I've just forgot the guy's name, Ronald something. He's been with United and he was the commercial and marketing director. He's been there like for 16 years. And the most important thing that I read over there was the fact that he was working alongside Ed. So is this now just, Ed is now gone, but in the backline is going to still be there? But,
oh, my word. We need a soccer mind to take over. We can't have these business guys anymore.
Yes.
But it's,
you know what nice. Sorry. How you go?
No, Craig. No.
You know what's nice is like
I'll just say
we've got this bottom structures like until before Ed. That's looking very nice. That looks like we are actually going somewhere. But it's almost like South Africa, it's on the top is a problem. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But it's like I said, let's see. For now, let's take it a day at a time. Let's try and go win this league actually, and then decide.
Paul Jones.
Look, I think we spent some time on that.
Funny guy, good.
Okay.
We're gonna be touching on the Champions League, and we're somehow gonna get into Chelsea versus Real Madrid. Warren, how confident are you, my man? 2 weeks ago, you were the dark horses until your new opponents has been revealed. Real Madrid. What's your hope for, man?
Real Madrid, yeah.
Get into the finals.
Look, it's going to be a tough one because, I think this is the first time that we're actually facing Real Madrid this century, I think. I don't recall the last time Chelsea played them, probably in the 90s. So correct. I would say that there's a lot of experience in that Madrid team that have won now, I think, 4 Champions League titles. And that a lot of that core players are still together. And then there's a lot of fresh, young blood at Chelsea. So it's gonna be a tough one. We got to.
It sounds like you're making excuses already.
I'm hearing that too.
No excuses being made here. But no, I feel Madrid.
That's what Liverpool fans said.
Yes, I don't know how we're gonna stop Benzema because that guy is in insane form at the moment as well, eh?
Real Madrid in general, they're in good form. The whole team is in. I don't know what happened.
No, look,
is around completely.
Madrid is definitely on their way to winning they can win the double this year. They can win La Liga, and they're still in the semi-finals of the Champions League. But the thing with Chelsea, which Tuchel has done well, is that he's obviously come in now. He sort of just jumped into the job, man, and there's a lot of talk about Chelsea obviously going forward. They're not that expensive at the moment. But if you look at what Tuchel has done as at the back, making us watertight and we're hardly conceding any goals. So for the manager to come in and to first sort out the defense because it takes time to work on your attacking combinations. But Tuchel was smart enough to think to himself, okay, because of the tight schedule that we have this year and because of the limited time that he has, He just decided, okay, I'm gonna make us hard to break down at the moment. If that's what he has to do for what the 18 months that he's got. And because of our defense, I'm pretty confident, I would say. But I mean, we'll have to see. I would say, if I have to give a prediction, I'm gonna say Chelsea again 2-1 on aggregate.
On
2-1 on
aggregate.
aggregate.
Wow.
Yes.
Real Madrid's going to score 3, 4, 5 goals past Chelsea.
No ways. No ways.
We have a 6-0 Madrid window.
That's if you haven't get a red card.
Don't cash in that money. Don't cash in that money.
Is that not?
Honestly, I think Chelsea actually stand a chance to win the Champions League. That's
What?
Win the
No.
There's an
Champions
outside
League.
chance.
What?
I've been following
Wow.
obviously.
You talk
Put
about
money
on
on that, my
FIFA.
friend.
Oh.
Yeah, so
You talk about on FIFA.
money on that, my friend.
I think Chelsea can actually really, based on their form at the back, and if they can play Mount, Kante, and Kovacic in the middle, I think Real Madrid's going to have a problem. You know, I think you can. The only thing about Chelsea, they're not scoring goals, and
Yeah.
Tuchel is not playing Giroud, who's actually a goal scorer. Who's the only one who really
Yes,
scores goals.
yes.
You know, but he's not playing, which is a bit odd. You know, I do get the pace up front thing, but I mean, they're not scoring up front, so I think that will be the only downfall. But I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be probably like a draw, and then 1-0 the last game. It's going to be very tight. It's going to be very tight.
Yeah. Check here. What I can also say is, and it's a very good point that Wayne brought up, is that Roberto Di Matteo had a season like that where he came in. Oh, sorry, that was something from Valentino there.
Yeah, you know that.
That's pointed through to Polly. Let me just get the right one here. I see a repeat of Charles Di Matteo season though. Wasn't that happened though with Di Matteo? No? Came in halfway,
Yes,
took Chelsea through and won the
Yes,
Champions
yes.
League.
yes.
Yeah, but look at the plays they had
But-
in that team.
Yeah, those players were all at their prime, their peak that time. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were a good team. They were playing good together.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Drogba.
For me-
But
yeah,
I mean, I would
players.
argue.
He did.
I would argue that wasn't even the best Chelsea team that won the Champions League that
It
year.
wasn't.
But they were.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah. But I mean, there were guys on their way out, and I mean, if they were ever gonna win it, that was the year they needed to do it in, and they managed to get it done. You know, just
It
barely by
wasn't-
penalties.
It wasn't Chelsea's best season, but you guys had some real good
Yeah.
leaders in that team compared to this season now.
Yes.
We can't compare Drogba to Werner because that's like comparing a Bentley to my Polo, you know. So yeah, like I mean, they do have a better. Yeah, go Faber Vibes.
I think for as Warren said, it's like possibly for Chelsea going in there and not expecting anything. Possibly a thing of go out there, guys. You've done well enough to get us to this point for the season we had. So I think in terms of from a relaxed point of going into the game, Chelsea could have that in terms of okay, we're just going out there and we're just going to enjoy our game. As we've come far in terms of we weren't expected to be at this stage.
Yes.
But then Warren, like you said, also the experience in terms of how to behave on the field, in terms of how to when to push, when not to push, all those things come into play in terms of it's more or less semi-final. They treat it as a final because after that there's nothing. But realistically, I do think both teams are going to be hungry. But I think it's also going to be. I watched Arsenal now in the week. Sorry, Chelsea in the week.
I was getting worried there, baby.
like
I was getting
said-
worried there for a minute.
Nah,
The
like
Brighton
I said,
game.
sorry, they some games they look the same, and when they play, so the way they play, so so
No,
like
but
Craig said,
my
so
fear-
it's just Chelsea's not scoring, but I do agree defensively. Yes, they do look solid, but I think in terms of Vinicius Junior and Mendy once again and Benzema, I think that's Real Madrid's winning formula at the moment. And those
Yeah.
guys have pitched up. They stepped up. They're playing in every game. They're showing. They're scoring the goals. So it's really going to be interesting. But honestly, I would also like to see a Madrid and PSG final. I think PSG is going to take it, but no hard feelings there, Warren.
It's all good, man.
So we
Don't
yeah,
don't
we
count
can-
City
we
out,
can-
bro.
I think also
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Don't City out.
Yeah, like,
One at a time.
look, the thing is,
City.
yeah, let's. Are we going over to City and the other game now? We're just gonna still continue on this one.
We're gonna be going next, but look, there are a few comments it was going through saying that Chelsea can't even beat West Brom, and of course Chelsea just an expensive Arsenal, which I agree, you know.
That's
But,
why. Thanks, Valentino. You see why I said Arsenal. You see why I said Arsenal
It's
because
like
of
I
that
said,
comment.
guys.
But Warren come in.
It's like I said, like the manager has no time to work on the attack. Like it's games in, games out. Till next season, Werner, Pulisic, these guys are gonna be scoring goals for fun.
That's true.
Right now,
That's
we're
true.
just watertight, and you will see how we break you all apart next season. Don't worry.
Can
But we're
I
still gonna win the Champions League this year.
Can I just please quickly
Okay.
say that Chelsea is just an expensive Arsenal? No, that's just disrespectful. It's not true. Chelsea is better than Arsenal, bro. I'm sorry. For me, I feel
But that-
London
Chelsea
is
has
blue.
the
London
players.
is blue.
League is between Arsenal.
They really have the players. They really.
But
gonna be a good
Tandy,
squad.
you always had a soft spot.
Yeah, Tandy,
You always had a soft spot for Chelsea, Tandy.
Only when
You
Drogba
always-
was there.
always,
No,
man.
I never done that.
Always.
Come over.
Look,
Come
and
over.
Tandy, when you're gonna make comments like that at Arsenal, you can't. What did you say? Arsenal's better than Chelsea, Tandy.
No, I said Chelsea's better than Arsenal. I'm sorry. I
No, he
feel
said the
Chelsea
opposite.
But then
team is much
I'm pretty
better.
sure we're gonna see comments coming soon. Do you have a gold trophy? Have you gone 48 games unbeaten? All those things. Chelsea hasn't done that. I'm just waiting for that, but we'll get on to the next one. Warren, if or should Chelsea
Yes, sir.
go through to the finals, who would you like to face?
Definitely City. You wouldn't want to face PSG.
Man City. I don't want to
You wanna
face.
take-
I don't think we can deal with Neymar and Mbappe.
Yeah,
But
you won't be able
I think
to.
on a good day you can nullify City's attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
PSG,
can't.
Man
There's
City,
nothing
James?
you can do. There's no way you can set up.
You can't these, especially now with
Man City.
the coach being the coach. You can see the difference in the team. I don't know. He's managed to
Yep.
do something very simple, and he's played Neymar at 10 instead on the wing. So
Yeah.
in most games you'll see them almost next to each other, but they're constantly on each other, man. And and the midfield of PSG is working. They look like a special bunch of players all of a sudden, And I think Poch, has really. And I've always thought I actually wanted Poch at Man United actually, and I've always thought for him going there, it'll be, if you look at it, Tuchel last season he was in the final, didn't win it. Poch was in the final against Poole, didn't win it. So PSG Chelsea final. I could see it. I think City will have a big problem against PSG as attack, because they still have an issue against counter-attacking teams. They still have a problem. They still have a big problem against it. So I think City, they have a big problem. They're going to have a struggle against PSG. That I can tell you.
You
Who do you wanna see in the
underestimate
final?
And
Pep.
like,
I'm
I
just
would
saying,
definitely
guys, I
want PSG in the
underestimate Pep.
final.
Tandy next.
I
I
agree.
think Pep can do it.
Like what I say, for me, City on a good day, like, I mean, De Bruyne on his good game is like justice. That guy is something else if he's on
Injured
form.
currently.
You have Phil Foden that's stepping up nicely as well as filling in that other empty place in the middle. But in all honesty, like, yes, it's English clubs, but I also feel that PSG deserves the Champions League after quite some time, man. Like, and that I'm saying with passion, like they deserve it, man.
I
Like,
feel more
check here, justice, meneer. Meneer Peasant. But yeah, all the best, Warren. I wish you luck in terms of the match itself, but my money is on PSG winning the Champions League.
If Chelsea win, it will be boring. It will be so boring if Chelsea win it. Like Chelsea won the Champions League.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. As long as City doesn't win the Champions League, my man, I'll be happy. So any other club, Chelsea can come and take it. But you first need to get through that Real Madrid squad, my man. But
Just
big ups to you for getting so far. And maybe it's gonna be a repeat of when did you win the Champions League? 2013? No. Yeah?
2012.
No, that's United. That's United. Isn't that United?
No, we won the Premier League 2013, Fabs.
No.
Oh, sorry, it's been so long, bruh.
We won Champions League 2012.
It's been so long.
It has.
So yeah, man.
Lucas talking. We lost have United. We lost have United who won the Champions League.
Don't say Warren.
It's almost 20 years now.
Here's our cup, Warren.
More tough, man.
That's the only cup I know.
And let's not forget what happened in that final. Let's not forget what happened in that final. Let's not forget what happened in that final.
What happened?
The penalty shootout.
Wait,
I don't know. Your team
don't
won,
talk about the final you lost, my friend.
Don't talk about things you lost in, my man. Don't talk about things you lost in, because you had a Anelka that, I don't know, you had people speak on his shoulders. That man had the world on his shoulders, my man. Even I knew when he walked up to that penalty shootout, he wasn't a miss.
Anelka just decided to rebel. Anelka decided to rebel that night. We had United. We had a whole penalty strategy, and Anelka rebelled.
You had a whole penalty strategy.
Yes.
All right, gents. I've been speaking about this 2 weeks ago now on Devon's page, and my dream has shut down immediately. How do you guys feel about this?
Just leave it, bro. It's not gonna happen. Accept our second place. Just accept our second place. Why are you gonna still dream die?
I think.
Sandy. After last night, I was like, yes, this Aston Villa, like they were. Yo, like that was my hope actually. Like to be honest, like
yes.
Aston's I watched again the last minute, but
I'm used to. Look. The thing is this: if City was won Chelsea last week, that means they still have to go again to another final, and all these finals would have maybe slow them down to actually lack in the Premier League. That is what I thought, So, but looking at the features, it's 11 points now. It's I don't know. I almost say it's gonna come down to the last game, but I think they might win the league. They might win the league before the end of the season.
How many games are left? City played 33. There's 5 games left for them.
Yeah, we've got 6 left. If you look at our fixtures, we've got Leeds coming now. We've got Leeds. Then we've got, I think it's Liverpool, Aston Villa, Leicester, Fulham, and Wolves, if I'm correct.
Yeah. City's playing Everton in the last game, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and Everton's fighting for top 4. So, it's,
City still has Chelsea.
They still have Chelsea.
City played Chelsea as well, still.
Don't show Liverpool as well.
So Warren, you definitely going to be, they don't have Liverpool. Warren, you definitely going to be doing us a favor there, my man. I know you got us there. What happens? City loses 2 games. Let's just go hypothetically speaking here. City drops 2 games. They're going to the final game. They're leading us by 2 points. They're playing Everton. We're playing Wolves. Let's just talk about it. What if is an opportunity? Chelsea's going to be a good one. Chelsea beat them before. They can do it again.
Yeah, they can, yes.
Remember City won the league against United against QPR when Aguero scored that goal.
Yes. I
Look,
remember
if
that.
we, if
Yo,
we,
Guys,
if
I'm
we,
asking it
that's, for me,
nicely.
it's
Go, Craig.
Just accept.
Oh, go on.
I think like Fabian said with last night's match against Aston Villa, if there really was like an opportunity for City to drop more points, it should have been last night because they
Yeah, I
were
agree.
10 men
Yeah.
down at halftime. They were ahead, but Aston Villa did not take advantage of that situation. And I feel like if
Yeah.
City had dropped points, preferably lost last night, then I think it definitely would have been on. It would have been what is it a 7 point gap if they had lost?
Here's the 7-point game.
But now it's
Or 8 points.
But look,
8 points.
it's only 8 points behind, guys. It's not
No, it's
over
11.
until
It's 11
over.
now.
Yeah, because we have a game in hand.
And we have a game
Oh,
in
it's
hand.
8
We have a game in hand.
points.
We just can't lose Premier
Yes,
League
yes.
games anymore. I don't know what's
This-
wrong with my
this-
Manchester United team, but I can't lose games anymore. You know, in the
Yeah.
Premier League, I just can't. I'm supposed to have that feeling
Yes,
based on
yes.
the whole game. But my Manchester
Yes.
United team can't lose games, man.
Yeah.
But Dale, remember when Trevor Noah made that joke that South Africa always goes this way and the world goes the
Yeah.
other way? Now, sometimes I feel that's United. Like,
Yes.
yes, we get the opportunity, but you know, no,
Like,
we
if you
don't
look
want
at-
that. We know.
If
I
you look at
agree.
if you look at the games we lost, no, or the games we drew, and you sit back and you look at the league now, it's weird. Like, I feel like we should be 10 points clear, you know. But like we
You know,
I
Craig,
can't see.
there's people to blame, Craig, and that is us as United supporters. Social media. Mom, where's my sweater? I can't find my sweater. Oh, never mind. It's on top of the table.
It's on top of the table.
Humble as Manchester United supporters. And then we were like, okay. Now you will drop. And I forgot about it, to be honest. City had like 4 games in hand, 3 games in hand. And I'm like, no, yes, it's my time. It's my time. 12 years later, 13 years later. And then poof, yesterday comes. And we start posting like funny memes on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. And yeah, poof, City. Pa.
Can I say this? This was our best chance to win this league.
It was.
I
It
mean,
was.
we had the gap, guys. We had the gap.
Yeah.
We had to just keep winning those games, and we lost
Was it
We had
silly games.
COVID. We had COVID on our side.
Was it 4?
Yes, COVID was helping us, bro.
We did.
I think
Not
it
a
was 6
single
We
points.
had
player.
COVID. We couldn't win the league with COVID.
We didn't have a single COVID
Look,
person in our team.
I think if we don't win the league, let's say we don't win the league, I'd say we are pretty close. We are for a team that hasn't bought the players that we wanted. And if you look at City's squad, you know, I mean, they could rotate how they wanted. Our problem is we never rotated. We play our players, but as Moog and Spiel, we never rotated. We never looked at what City was doing. If we rotated our team, I promise you, if we rotated our team, we wouldn't have had this problem. I can tell you that.
My friend.
You know, because now we're bringing players like Van der Beek or Mata or whoever off the bench, and you don't see any difference because they play every second month or every, you know what I mean. So there's no confidence these players is built. So I blame in that sense the coaching staff in that sense of rotation had to be so vital, especially now. We were 6 points clear. 6 points clear.
Yes.
Honestly,
Nope.
I told myself, this is the season. We have it. We really have it. Just rotate the team, and problem solved. But it didn't do it.
Yeah.
Can
Look
I
at
just?
that moment
But
of
Craig,
That
Look at
man
that
was
block.
right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go Tande.
I was gonna say that man was right. Ole had to start mixing the players, not keeping the same team the whole time and not giving the other guys a chance. But you can't give 10 or 5 minutes a guy a chance to change the game. It's not gonna work all the time. So I'm telling you now, next season, next season it's gonna be harder for us. If we can achieve top 2 again next season, then I'll be proud of Oli. But I'm telling you now, next season, the thing of COVID, it's not gonna help us. Next season, teams are gonna be way more informed.
Tandy, so you say then like, and yes, I to some point I agree with you because I mean we could have had fresh legs, but then also we said can't only keep a consistent team at least to play every week so the people can start gelling and then the people can start playing with each other. So
Fabian, you
I think
can
he
do
was
that.
also trying to find he was trying to find a team that could be consistent. If you recall, in Fergie's days, Fergie rotates his teams, but most of the 90% of the time, he would always keep his defense the same. Your defense, hardly
Yes.
Ferdinand, Vidic, Neville, they always played every single game. Yeah, and there they would get a small break. So I think it's also getting that linkage or the connection between the players. And yes, I would have loved to see more of Van der Beek. I would have loved to see more of the new youngsters that's on the bench also. But we're also in a crucial phase in terms of you don't want to put so much pressure on a youngster, and that cripples him for next season. And you stand a chance of dropping points from the top two. You know what I mean? And also, so it's all of those things as a coach. So I think yes, to a point we can criticize him, but I also think where he is now, I think he made some good calls in.
Yeah.
I do. The thing is, I do agree with you. I do agree with
Wait,
you.
Lucy?
I do
Okay,
agree with you, but the reason why I say rotation so much is because it's not the same time now. We've got now 2-3 games a week. So it's not like one game like 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons where it's one game or 2 games. Now it's coming like this. You travel 2 days, you come back, you train, you score. That is in that aspect. I say rotation in that aspect. You understand? And that's why City has done it the best. And that's why they are where they are today.
Good point.
Yeah,
but that's
I
we
agree
don't
with
have
you.
a squad.
But
United don't have a squad big enough.
what City?
We do. We do. I think that's the
Ooh.
best squad we had in the
With,
last
Sorry,
10
with
Warren.
City
years.
though, they can rotate the
Go,
best.
Warren. Yes, Warren's
No,
right.
like Craig was
City
saying with
has-
the rotating
has
with
a
City,
depth
like
team.
the thing with City, the thing with City also is that with Pep Guardiola's teams, no matter how you rotate, they're always gonna play the way he wants to. They fit seamlessly into his system. No other coach
There we go.
can really do that but Pep. So you want your team to rotate like City, but you don't have the coach that City has, and that's the key difference also as well. Is that anyone who comes into City's team, they just keep ticking over. They play the same way, but you bring like maybe McTominay, you switch him off for I don't know Fred, and you're gonna get something different. Like you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
ideally you want your team to rotate like City, but the key difference is Pep Guardiola, I think.
Yeah.
The thing
Look,
is,
Yeah, go Greg.
yes, I do get that. Yes, obviously they've got the best squad. We know that. You know, we've got a lot of money, of course. But we also have a
The
very
best
good squad.
coach.
We have a very, yeah, of course. We also have a very good squad, you know, and we've got players in positions where we can replace each other. You know, this one can come in here, this one come in here, but it's just the way he rotated it, man, it didn't make sense to me. You know, like you can see, for example, Bruno now for the last 2-3 months, he's been looking like a normal average player. You know, because he scores a penalty or he makes an assist, we forget how shit his game was. You know, so he could have brought in, you know, a Pogba there as a 10 or a Mata or a Donny as a 10. Like, he just doesn't do it. These guys, Bruno, Rashford, all those guys didn't have to play, but they're still playing game in, game out, and they're performing poor, but they're still starting. How are you as a player on the bench? You think you yourself, but I'm training as hard as these guys.
Yeah.
Why can't I start? You know what I mean? That is what I'm trying to say here. We have a good squad. Like when Ole didn't get what he wanted, I was like, if you look at the squad, it's actually a brilliant squad. Like when last have we had a squad like this? You know?
Yeah.
So now we come short.
Yeah.
Now you're right, bro.
I agree, but I still don't fully agree because first of all, and like I said, you have Matic in your team, right? You have Fred that's your starter, but Fred is not consistent as you would want him to be game in, game out. You bring Matic on. Matic has the same sort of easiness, relaxedness. You can bring on a Mata. So yes, we do have the Daniel Jameses, and I do feel that, for example, was it last week he could have possibly let Rashford rather stay on bench a week ago, but instead he still started him with his ankle injury. So I do feel there, yes, at times it's a bit more. But I also think as a coach, it's like, and the players are like, I'm sure Rashford told him, Coach, I'm fine, I can play this game, man. And you at this part of you at the stage of your season where you need your best. Remember, as I say, you can never trust a sleeping lion.
Yeah.
So Bruno might not be performing, but he's that lion on the field still, and the people are always going to be conscious of him and thinking and thinking and yes, you could have, like you said, you could have possibly pushed Pogba up a bit more. But I think he's also trying to find something where Pogba and Bruno can fit in the same team and consistently play together as well. So I think there's still some improvement for Ole and United for next season, especially.
No, there is. If you look at now and last season, there is improvement. It's just in terms of the way we're playing, that's a question mark. We don't know what. I honestly, almost every game, I said like this. Okay, what are we gonna expect today? Are we gonna play counter? Are we gonna play like I'm so confused with how we're playing. I mean, he plays counter-attacking football and passing football. So what kind of
You
combination?
mainly play counter.
Like, I like the combination itself doesn't make sense to me. You understand? Like, we're probably one of the best counter-attacking teams in the world, you know. But yet we want to have the ball, pass side to side the whole time, and then and concede a goal instead. You know? So it's there is improvement though. I can see based on the only problem with us is we haven't looked like a team. For example, like Chelsea under Tuchel. For a few games, it looked more as a team than United, because at the moment we only look like a team that's based on individual brilliance. If you look at it, you know, a goal pass here, Cavani here, it's just that's how it looks like. The goals we scored, it's absolutely beautiful goals, like out of this world goals, but there's no like teamwork. When it looks a bit, it's difficult to see by United this season. But it's weird because we're second on the log. You ask yourself, how? You know? So there is progress. You can see there is progress.
Yeah. Gents, very good points. I'm actually shocked by the things that I've heard here tonight, because those are actually things that we need to actually get out there and actually understand that with what we have. And it's actually good comments in the background as well, is that we're only good on certain occasions. You understand? This season, I was never comfortable with United having the ball possession only on counter-attack. And I actually started last season, to be honest. But this season was just based on that. Many opportunities that we had. Also in the comments, saying that forget rid of Fred, so there's probably McTominay and Fred. I just don't understand why, as a United team, we rely on two CDMs. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
That's because our defense is suspect. The defense is suspect.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember there was one game, no, where Donny van der Beek started, but he started as a 6. I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah.
He played absolutely brilliant. Like,
he only started like 2 or 3 games.
I know. This is my thing. We could play with one CDM, and we could play with Pogba and Bruno next to each other as an 8 and a 10. I mean, we will demolish. We will finish. Game done. I'm sorry.
We walk onto the pitch with Donny in front of the defense and Pogba and Bruno. Game done. I don't have to watch the game. My phone will give me the updates. 4 love half time. Finished. Also, United still don't have a fixed starting 11. That has been happening post Fergie.
I think they have a fixed. I think they have a fixed 9, a fixed 8-9, a fixed 8 that they always start.
I think he have a favorite 11. He has a favorite 11. Not fixed.
Favorite level, but like
with the squad that we have now, everyone is fit. Who's your starting 11? Now, today. Tonight.
Can I go first?
Tonight.
Look, I think I'll change the formation. I'll change the formation. I'll find a way to play Greenwood and Cavani up front together. You know, I don't know. I just yeah, I don't know. But definitely one CDM, and it will probably be either between McTominay or Van der Beek. It won't. I'm not even considering Fred. You know, but
Pass the Fred.
definitely. I'm not.
Why not?
Fred is Tandy. Fred
Pass the Fred.
Fred can't
I like
pass the
Pass
ball.
the Fred.
I know it. I know he's a hard worker, but in terms of
Fred is
passing the
solid
ball,
there, guys.
yeah.
He's been performing.
No.
He hasn't been that bad.
No.
His performances has been good.
Yeah, he has been playing better, but it's just I don't know, man. There's something missing in most games. I don't know what it is.
But we have to
Guys,
play with one.
have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? Watch Fred. Have you ever seen how many times he puts up his hand to say sorry? To say sorry. It's not to pray. It's not to pray. It's to say sorry. He's saying sorry all the time for the ball.
You also have to give it to him, my man. He does.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
He's consistent.
You-
But when he's not consistent,
He was the best
then
we
the
had.
man's name
He was
and
the best we
nationality
had.
comes into question.
Choose from.
True. I do
But
think in the transfer market we have to go for someone like Declan Rice, just so we can
Yeah.
start one. We have to get someone like
You
that.
already have like 10
Don't-
central defensive
Guys.
midfielders.
Yes,
Nah, but
thank you.
not-
Don't
Whoa,
waste
whoa,
money
let-
on
let-
a
let-
You
midfielder.
don't need
Come
another
in?
central defensive midfielder.
He's not as good
Guys,
as him.
we
He's not as
can't
good as
waste
What?
money
You
on a
guys have like
midfielder.
five CDMs.
They're not good enough.
You have like
Ooh.
so many
They're not
defensive
good enough.
midfielders
Who
already.
you don't? You can't
McTominay,
rate Matip.
McTominay is good enough.
McTominay is
McTominay
fine.
is-
McTominay is your
but
guy.
you need another person because like we said now it's a full season. McTominay is not going to play every game, so I would definitely say a Rice would be. I wouldn't say no at all. But
indeed.
my,
But then
my starting 11
Matic
would
has to go and Fred has to go.
He
nice.
wins the ball he wins the ball very well, though. That's one of his
Yes,
traits.
he
That he
does,
does win the ball very well.
He does. He's a poacher. He does.
but he gives it away also very well.
I did
He
see
does.
Gives it
something.
away very well.
So
I must say,
He's
I did see something very interesting when he plays a bit higher up the field. I saw something different.
something
Is
different.
it that Brazilians? Is it that Brazilians just don't fit in at United? Anderson.
Anderson has 5 Premier League medals.
Yeah,
on his
I
hand.
haven't had much luck.
Anderson.
He has 5 Premier League medals, and no one in this comment
And-
section has seen Gerrard win the
And
league.
5 words to his English vocabulary.
Good one. Gents, we're reaching the end of the show. Let's go into this quickly. Man United AS Roma.
Yo, honestly, I didn't want to face them.
Roma.
No, it's better. It's better we
I
face
was
them now.
Ajax. I was Ajax.
We can't keep running away against good teams. We need to take them out.
But I'm not scared of AS Roma.
They are 10 points. They are 10
Nah,
points from
check your
top four.
Smalling is suspect.
Yeah,
there,
they
but
are. Yeah. Smalling.
They
Who's
need
the-
Europa
My thing
League
is
now.
this. My thing is this: United's gonna win the Europa. Klar. I have full faith United's gonna win the Europa. You can't play semi-finals all your life, man. You can't play semi-finals all your life.
Yeah. I don't know how I'd feel if we lose it. I wouldn't know how I would feel if we must lose this Europa. Like, for the way we're playing now, we've got no one injured. Like, everyone is there, you know, and we're buzzing, you know. So, if you look at the 4 teams that's left, I think Villarreal is the only team really that's also buzzing. But United, you know, we should win this Europa. Then
Smalling or Maguire?
Sorry?
Smalling or Maguire?
We can get the
Yo,
both
Maguire.
weren't that. They both weren't that great.
One is a fridge and one is a robot, so I don't know.
Nah, Maguire is good enough.
Nah, I think
But-
Smalling.
But-
I honestly feel if I
But-
come in there, is
So
that,
we all
this is United's opportunity to win the Europa. Is Roma the
yep.
it's gonna be also haunting players, Chris Smalling and Henry Mkhitaryan. But I mean, we
Yes,
do have a
I am
full squad.
Mkhitaryan. Yes.
Yeah, and this is the one opportunity for us to go. Like for me, as I said in the previous podcast, a successful season for me, and I will now move away from closing the gap on Manchester City, but out ending second without any trophies will mean it's a disaster. This season we need to get the trophy, and the Europa is going to be that opportunity for us because let's just say we have this team also, Arsenal, that makes it into the final. Then I'm guaranteed to win the Europa.
Oh yeah.
I'm guaranteed. When I get past AS Roma and Arsenal now hopefully beats Villarreal, United and Arsenal in the final, gents, I'm not even going to watch it. I win the Europa finish at
The thing is this, no? Those three teams that's left besides United, we're the only ones that qualify really for the Champions League if you think about it. The others are all, I think Roma is 7th, Villarreal is 5 points from the top 4, and Arsenal is almost 10th. But those three teams are the only ones that is gonna even push harder because they want to be in the Champions League. They have to win the Europa. So we're already in the Champions League, but we are the better team out of all that three teams.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Just to throw it out
Arsenal.
there. Just hold on, Faber. I want to ask you a question. All right, we second. We don't win Europa, right? Or we win Europa. We qualify for Champions League. Do you guys honestly believe Pogba has 18 months left on his contract? Do you think he's gonna stay?
Now look at this. Before we go into that, Tandy, very good point.
When I see the sun, that's a problem.
Huh?
Yeah, no, you can't trust the sun.
Now, Dale,
The zone.
can I say something also? Just to add to that, I've been preaching it for a long while now. I've been saying that if Pogba leave or if Bruno injured, what do we have? The
You
players
can't
are
come
not
with that,
getting.
Tandy.
I've just
You
been
can't come
asking
with
that
that,
question.
man.
I've been asking that question to
Yeah.
you guys a lot.
That's the deal.
I don't
gets
think-
injured.
Bruno's injured.
Just
I don't
listen
think
to me.
Pogba's leaving. I don't think Pogba's
Who
leaving.
do we have that's getting an opportunity to prove they can fit in and cover that position? That's what
Can
I've
Donny
been
play
learning
10?
about.
Can
Nah,
Donny play
Donny-
10?
I wouldn't play Donny 10.
Nah,
He's
he's not a
more
10. He's more
He's
8
not
or
a
6.
10.
Box
He's
to
not a
box.
10.
He can.
He's a
Box to
box to
box.
box.
He's box
Okay.
to box. Mata's the only one left. Mata,
No,
you know
Mata
who?
needs to
You know
Mata
who?
needs to
You
now
know
we need to
who?
give him his
Listen
retirement
to this
package.
name. Listen to this name.
Mata must go to Italy. He must go play in
Listen to
Italy.
this name. Mason
Go
Green.
great. Mason Green was at a 10.
Nah, bruh. Mason Green as a striker. I
I've seen
prefer
the way
that
he
Lakay
passes
as
the
a
ball.
striker. No, just listen to me. Mason Green as a
So the
striker
guys
is
for the in
brilliant.
the comment box, Mason Greenwood as a 10 coming from Oli from Matuafontein. Please put
No,
this guy to bed.
obviously he's my number one striker. I'm saying if there's no other 10, no one left, I would put him there.
No, you can't play Mason there.
I would
He's
take
better.
a risk and play Ahmad.
Rashford.
I think I'm gonna
Rashford?
go there.
Rashford is 10 now, Warren.
Yo, Rashford
Yo.
is a selfish player. You can't play him at 10.
Rashford is 10,
Yeah.
Warren. Rashford will be taking shots from 35 all game long.
Yeah.
All game long. There will be no through.
No,
There will be no
Rashford
45
doesn't like
balls.
shooting.
They will just taking on 3-4 players at a time, and then he gets up with that bushy hair of his, and then he walks. He's becoming like Marshall lately.
This is my thing.
Rashford is perfect, yeah, in the
Overrated.
PSL, yeah, but
Overrated.
Just go sign Grealish already. Problem solved.
Oh, beauty.
But you heard what the guy said. You heard what he said. He doesn't like the English weather. That's why he doesn't want to come down here.
Who?
oh,
Who's this?
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Griezmann now. Sorry.
No, man.
no.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
sorry, man.
Griezmann.
I'm gonna remove
Griezmann
you,
didn't want to
bruh.
come down. Sorry.
I'm
No,
only for you.
you're right there. That's the right player. Aston Villa, sorry.
Ashton,
I think if we win the
Yes,
Super
plays
League,
for Aston
I think
Villa,
in the
sorry.
Super League, what 400 million, we buy Grealish, Haaland, centre back, Declan Rice, and another right back. Problem solved.
Nah,
We win a treble. We win a treble for
leave your
3 seasons.
striker. Leave the striker. He's not coming here. He doesn't want to come to United.
True.
Yeah,
Harry
that's
Kane, Harry Kane, or Haaland.
think,
that's a wishful Christmas list.
Warren, good luck to you, my man. It's gonna be a big game for you.
Yes, sir.
I hope it's gonna be a nice repeat
Thank
of
you.
the Di Matteo. As United supporters, Craig, do you wanna anything else you wanna say there before we
Definitely.
head out, my man?
James, thanks for having me on the show. That was awesome. I think we stand a chance. We stand a chance to surprisingly win the Premier League. If we do, I'm gonna have to buy 16 people a bottle of Jameson, and that's a problem.
Yo,
16 people in my group. So
Yo.
that was the bet I made.
if my calculations correct, it's spending about 8,500.
Yeah. That's my hope.
Or you think getting paid by the Super League?
No, like I just said, the odds are winning the league. I mean, looking at where we are, but yeah, I think there's a slight chance.
Warren, in 5 words, my man. Warren,
Sorry?
any final words, brother?
Listen in.
You're not out of the Champions League yet.
Oh no, thanks, man. Not that, yes. Chelsea to win it 2-1 against Madrid. And no, it was a pleasure being on the show with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Sweet, my man. Sweet.
Dale,
Luthi,
top four, Dale.
top 4.
Who's your top four, Dale?
Okay.
I've also got a few surprises on my top four.
You see the top 4 there?
Let's see. Hold on.
That's a top 4 for me.
Your top four.
I think that should be the top 4.
I would say
That's my
say-
top 4.
okay. Your top 4 and yours.
I'll
Who's
give
the
it
other
there.
two?
I'll give
Luthi?
it there.
I'm also thinking that's going to be the top 4.
I've got a.
I don't think Liverpool's
I'm
going to
gonna
make
give
it.
you guys something different.
Okay, come with us, bro.
I think Liverpool ends third, and I think
Sure, this man.
West Ham ends fourth.
Did you put money on this?
No, I actually looked at features, I looked at injuries, and yeah, I think
Craig,
Chelsea falls out of it.
Craig, you realize
like-
that Leicester,
You're like a weatherman
Leicester.
now. Huh?
you know that Leicester has a game in hand on Liverpool, eh? Leicester's playing tonight.
Have you seen Leicester's features? They have a problem.
Yeah, but I mean, if they win the game, if you look at that log again, it's a difference of 3 points. So if they win tonight, they go a 6-point gap. So, okay. But your bets, my man, you have 18 bottles or what? 16 bottles to buy. I don't make any betting with you, my man. I don't make any bets. Luthi, final words, my man.
Yeah, let's enjoy this weekend in terms of football. Hopefully my team gets another win. We stay keeping that gap there. That's all I care about.
Not closing the gap. We'll keep that gap. Fabes,
Close by, yeah.
Yeah, nah, thanks, gents. It was awesome. Good to hear everyone's views and opinions. PSG to win the Champions League, United to win the Europa, United to end second, West Ham to sneak in. David Moyes showing his quality, West Ham to sneak into the top 4. But I think the Liverpool's the dark horses. I think the next few games, I really think they're going to have to step up, and it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be taking our spot next season in Europa or not.
for sure. For sure.
I think we would
Thank
like
you
to
very
see
much.
them.
Thanks very much, guys, for being part of the REDZ Table. I also feel it's going to be a very, very good. I'm just going to speak on United. We will definitely be winning the Europa. My top four remains the top four. And just out there to the Arsenal supporters, thank you very much for participating in all competitions. You will be receiving your participation certificate from me. At the end of the day, guys, share the thing, like the thing, and subscribe to the thing. We're out of here.
Sure.
So